Hello, I wanted to give you an overview of the food cycle for the Fast Away to Fat Loss program. So hopefully by now you've had a chance to review the comprehensive guide that you received in an email when you first signed up for the program. If you have, you see that we do have 3 types of days that we cycle throughout the week. These are low carb days, regular macro days, and low macro days. Occasionally, we do have a 24-hour fast or a 24-hour cleanse. That's towards the end of the program, and I will tell you a little bit more about that as well a little bit later. So I wanted to give you a breakdown of each of the types of days. So first, we have low-carb days. These are typically Monday and Tuesday. For women, our goal is to have less than 50 grams of net carbs on these days, and for men, their goal is to have less than 100 grams of net carbs. So to find your net carbs and where they are listed in the MyFitnessPal app, you click on the calories remaining bar at the top of your, if you're having it on your phone, you click on that and you see there's a calories tab, a nutrients tab, and then a macros tab. If you click on the nutrients tab, which is in the center, if you go down to there and you see all your nutrients listed, you look at the carbohydrates, you minus the fiber, and that gives you your net carbs. So I'll say that again. You take your carbohydrates, subtract the fiber, and that is your number for net carbs that you have consumed. So you'd want to try to stay less than 50 grams, and again, 100 grams for men, for the men's program. So you log each day within your MyFitnessPal app, and I've done another video that helps you in setting up your MyFitnessPal app that will help explain a few more things just about the app. So our goal for low carb day, which is Monday and Tuesday, is to deplete our glycogen stores. So when we do this, we are able to use fat for fuel, which are the triglycerides that are left. And before you've done this program or started this program, you may not have ever been to a point where your body was in a fasted state. Or you may have never been at a point where you've actually depleted your glycogen stores. So when we consume carbohydrates, our body changes that to glucose and it stores it as glycogen in our muscles. So when we engage in physical activity or we burn energy of any kind, our body goes first to the fuel, to this fuel source, which is the carbohydrates. So therefore, if we deplete the glycogen stores by consuming less carbs on these days, and we engage in a type of workout like high-intensity interval training, sprint training, or speed burst training, Tabatas, if you've heard of those, or fasted cardio, then we go right into those fat stores and we can burn fat effectively rather than burning the carbohydrates when we first burn energy. So that is the first 2 days, Monday and Tuesday, and those are our low carb days. At the beginning of this program, if you're just starting out with me, you may have some detox-like symptoms. If you have been eating a lot of carbs, or maybe you've been eating a lot of processed foods, or you haven't really been watching what you're eating and making poor food choices. So you may feel a little bit more lethargic starting out if you eliminate those and try to stay on this program with intermittent fasting and the low carb days the first couple days. You might experience headaches, but just wanted to let you know that's completely normal. It doesn't affect everybody the same, and this does not last for long. So keep going. On these days, especially the Monday and Tuesdays, it is especially important to drink lots of water and to stay hydrated. So we do recommend drinking half your body weight in ounces each day. On these days, we also continue to practice the intermittent fasting on each day of the program, including these days. So we definitely want to stay hydrated, really important. During this intermittent fasting time, you are allowed plenty of water, black coffee, or herbal teas. We will engage in an 8-hour feeding window, which leaves us with a 16-hour fasting window. So I usually break my fast around noon, and I continue to eat throughout the day, stopping at 8 p.m. So this can be varied, and it is flexible. I know I have some clients that have changed their feeding window to be from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Or maybe for their work schedule, it works better 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. So you are able to find something that works good for you and your schedule. So starting out, and maybe during prep week, if you'd like to try the intermittent fasting, try to shorten your feeding window little by little so you can get used to it. Some people do jump in and go right to, I'm not going to eat till noon. Other people want to try and shorten their feeding window that they do have in their fasting window to try to ease into it and get your body used to it. So if you think about it, if you maybe finish dinner at 7 p.m. and you don't eat until 7 a.m. the next morning, that's already 12 hours right there that you've been fasting. So obviously, if you would wait till 9 a.m. to eat, that's already a 14-hour fast. So try to extend that fasting time little by little until you reach the 16-hour fast with your 8-hour feeding window. So on these low-carb days, Monday and Tuesday, in the MyFitnessPal app, your macro chart is found in the macros tab that's across the top next to the nutrients tab. So on the low-carb days, your chart will definitely look a little different. It won't look like it normally will when we're eating differently on the other days. So you will have a lot more fats on low-carb days that you're consuming. You get most of the fats from olive oil, avocado oil, small amounts of coconut oil or avocados, nuts, lean meats. Bacon is a good thing to have on these days. So you do want to refer to the other video that I have done to learn more about how to log your food into the MyFitnessPal app. So, and again, we find the net carbs by taking carbohydrates minus fiber to get this number. So we try to stay below 50 grams for women and 100 grams for men on these low carb days. So fats do take up most of your macro chart on these days as we are limiting the number of carbs we consume. And what you want to do is hit that protein goal of the macros for proteins that you eat on this day. It's okay if you go about 5, sometimes 10% over the recommended amount of protein for that day. And the rest of what you consume will be fats. So moving on toward the week, next we have a regular macro day. So these days are typically Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday. So please remember that your numbers for your macro goals for each day might be different and will be different from somebody else's, as we are all built differently. We're all have different goals, and these are all custom for each person depending on our goals that we set in the MyFitnessPal app. So on these days where we have regular macro day, we participate in a strength training workout. So Wednesdays is usually a total body workout. This is for the women's program. And Thursday we add back training, and Saturday is the most important training as we do leg day. So on the regular macro days, we do want to eat 50% carbs, 30% fats, and 20% proteins. And this is all figured in your MyFitnessPal app. So Wednesday's a total body workout. Thursday we add back training. Saturday's the leg day. The special thing about Saturday is that we have a heavy training day, and we can leave room for discretionary calories, and you can have a favorite snack, a treat, a piece of cake, a donut, or something else that you've been craving. So this is not a cheat day or a cheat afternoon. Rather, it is something that we still track within our macro chart, and it's just a treat that you can enjoy after completing your leg day workout. So you might be looking forward to leg day for this reason, just so we're allowed to have a treat. So you definitely still want to follow your macro guidelines on this day. So if it fits within your macros and you can allow yourself to have a donut or leg day treat to your liking, just do make sure that you log it in the MyFitnessPal app. So next we have a low macro day. So these days are typically Fridays and Sundays. And I do want to say for the men's program, they do not have low macro days. So the men's program, their Friday is a low carb day. They have 3 low-carb days through the week, and their Sunday is actually a regular macro day where they have a workout. So do remember that if you're in the men's program and you're watching this video. So for women, the low macro day are extremely important. So these are typically Fridays and Sundays. So it is a rest day paired with our food log of 25% less macronutrients. So on these days, we eat 25% less calories, which would actually be 25% fewer grams of carbs, 25% fewer grams of fats, and 25% fewer grams of protein. So on a regular macro day, say you eat 200 grams of carbohydrates, we want to figure in what you're going to have on a low macro day. So we take 25% of 200. I know it involves a little bit of math, but you multiply 200 times 0.25, that gives us 50. And we subtract 50 from 200, which leaves us with 150. So on the low macro days, you are consuming 150 grams of carbohydrates versus your original goal of 200 grams of carbohydrates. So you do the same process for the protein and for the fat as well to get 25% less of the macronutrients that you consume on these days. So again, this must be paired with your rest day. So we're not taking part in a strenuous workout on these days. You can go for a walk or something light. But we do not want to have the effects of hypothyroidism or adrenal fatigue. So rest days in our program are extremely important. So if you are consuming if you are under consuming macronutrients and overtraining and over-exercising, then something in your body is more than likely to break. Usually it is the thyroid. And if this happens, your thyroid gets out of whack, your body's not able to burn fat, and it leads to other health problems as well. So we definitely want to rest. Our body needs rest. So the other day that we take part in is an occasional 24-hour fast or a 24-hour juice cleanse. So this is in weeks 4, 5, and 6 of the program, so it's not till the last half. You have the option to do a juice cleanse or a fast. So I will elaborate later on in the program as we approach week 4. But just in a nutshell, in a 24-hour juice cleanse, you flood your body with micronutrients, and with a 24-hour fast, this accelerates your fat-burning results that you should already be seeing at this point. And your body is in complete digestive rest with a 24-hour fast. So I hope this gives you a better idea of your weekly food cycle. Please let me know if you have questions. I know prep week and week 1 can be really overwhelming, and I promise it does get easier. I think you'll enjoy the variety of having low carb days, regular macro days, and low macro days throughout the week. It's kind of a nice variety as it's always changing. So I'm excited to get started and be on this journey with you. So thanks for watching, and you have a great day.